Testing, testing, testing. Okay, I believe we are rolling here. You are listening to the Mercyhurst Lakers radio broadcast from NECBlitz.com of the season finale. Mercyhurst is traveling to Central Connecticut State University to take on the Blue Devils, and looks like I'd say, somewhat cloudy game over here in our roots field. Now, the Lakers are going to be wearing green helmets, white shirts, green pants. Blue Devils going with white helmets, blue shirts, blue pants here on the broadcast. Teams are out for warm-ups right now, and looks like the away sideline, which is what you see over on the broadcast for CCSU, still kind of filing in. Definitely looks like a tough day, cold day for some football over there in Connecticut. Always feels like it's cold in Connecticut. I remember watching games, UConn games, way back in the day when they were a power school, and just it's always like playing in an ice box up there. So they play tough in Connecticut. And today we've got the Mercyhurst University Lakers, who this is our broadcast for Mercyhurst. If you are a Central Connecticut State fan, we welcome you to the broadcast. However, please be advised we are going to be Mercyhurst heavy. So really, just to kick it off, I want to talk a little bit about this one, what the stakes are. And this is an NEC championship game. Now, the NEC, an 8-school conference right now, doesn't really have a true traditional championship game. Instead, it plays a round robin format, and there can be many tied teams here at the top. A lot of split championships. However, there's one auto qualifying bid that goes to the playoffs. The NEC is traditionally a one bid league. If it were to happen with two bids, would have been last year when a Duquesne team finished ranked and did not make the big dance. So what's at stake here? Well, Mercyhurst University has the chance to win a share of the championship. With a win, they win a share. Hard stop. They've just got to win to do that, whereas Central Connecticut State already has claimed a share. They've got to win the game here to get outright championship and the FCS auto qualifying bid. If Central Connecticut State loses, they would have the chance to still have the auto qualifying bid if Robert Morris defeats Duquesne. Meanwhile, Wagner and Long Island are playing this afternoon, and if Wagner wins, they will clinch a share of the championship if Mercyhurst defeats Central Connecticut State. The Mercyhurst Lakers are ineligible for the playoff this season. Reason being, they're in the transition from Division II to Division I. So whenever you're in that transition period, you can play postseason in terms of tournaments for the league. Mercyhurst is currently in, or was until yesterday, was in the volleyball tournament for NEC women's volleyball. But had they won the tournament, they would not be able to participate in the NCAA tournament. So similar process here, because otherwise there's actually a path were they eligible for Mercyhurst to go ahead and claim the auto qualifying spot. With a win over Central Connecticut and a Robert Morris win over Duquesne, they would then win the auto qualifying playoff spot. It's just unfortunately they are not eligible yet this season. So we're going to go ahead and kick it off. We have a pregame show here. We're going to talk to Coach Ryan Remedio, taped interview from just a few days ago. Has some really good words for what the season's meant. We have a little announcement for him at the end of that particular interview. So starting a little bit early here, here's Coach. Okay, NECBlitz here is the Mercyhurst pregame show. We're here with Coach Ryan Remedio, previewing the Central Connecticut State game happening later today. And Coach, it's year one in NEC. You're entering this game with a chance to claim a share of the conference title. Now, what does that opportunity mean to you and the program?
AJ, thanks for having me on. Ultimately, it's always a goal that you have at the end. When you talk about going into league play and all those things, but going into it, we all talked about it since last weekend, and after finding out that Duquesne beat Central Connecticut, we kind of knew we had a shot at something. Going into the first year, it was definitely something we talked about as a staff, a goal that we had as a team. But really, it's truly going into each game in a singular motion, right? It's not really talking about the future and all that, but now we're at the end of the year and we're at the point where we have the opportunity now, and for the program, for our university, it's something special. Ultimately, we still got to play the game Saturday and take care of business on our end in order for any of those things to happen.
Yeah, and there's obviously a lot of noise around the stakes this week. Are you having to do anything to keep the team grounded?
We met Sunday to kind of clear tape from the Robert Morris game, and we told them, it's the week of practice is the same thing as our process that we go through, regardless. This is week 0, week 1 to week 12 now. What's your process going in? Talking about just being process driven, still competing each week in everything we do, and just playing fundamentally technically sound football throughout the week of practice and having a good week of practice. Really, it's nothing changes for us. We're going into this, if we're playing Central Connecticut for just like a regular game. I know that the championship and the league title and all those things come with it, but I think the guys kind of understand, like, we're going into this game knowing, this is our last game together as a whole team for our seniors, and even for one of our coaches, Coach Herman, who is going to move into a non-positional job next year. This is kind of his last game as well. So those are some of the bigger things that we've talked about this week more than anything else, and not so much about the championships and all that, even though it's definitely something behind, everyone's mind and all those things.
Yeah, we want to mention Coach Herman is an institution up in Erie. Glad he'll be around the program in some capacity for sure. Now, are you framing this? It sounds like talking about the process, but it's got to be there a little bit. Do you frame it as this is a championship game, or is this really just strictly there's nothing special about this one? We've got the Blue Devils this week.
We're looking more at the opponent than really what's the outcome of it. We're not really looking, if we take care of what we need to take care of during the week, the outcome kind of takes care of itself. And that's kind of the approach we've taken all year in every game that we've gone into. Obviously, certain games have different notions behind it and all those things. And you can take, some of the games that we've played between our first true NEC game with LIU to the Duquesne game to Stonehill, St. Francis being there last year, Robert Morris being a team that we playing down the street. So there's always some type of notion behind, or some type of, idea behind the game and what it means and all those things. But as far as how we're looking at it, more than anything else, we know it's for the conference championship, but, what are we doing to sharpen our technique, our fundamentals, and then, executing our game plan more than anything else. Because I think as a team, we understand, like, that's what's going to truly win this game. And it's not so much, we need to do extra in order to get to this point. We're at this point already, and we need to go into this game. There's a little bit more excitement. I can truly say that because the guys know it, but it's still about the process. I mean, that's not going to change for us and who we are as a program and what we do, and even some of the competition things that we're going to do this week. It's what we've been doing the last few weeks. It's just creating those opportunities for our guys. And, I think being the last game, whether we're playing for a championship or not, like, the guys all understand that aspect of it. They all understand, like, this is our last one together as a team, as a 25-26 Mercyhurst football team, and that's why it's special. Now, adding that up, that that other layer of, it being for a league title, a banner, or whatever it might be that we can hang here inside. Like, that's always going to be in the back of the head and the back of our minds. But ultimately, it's doing our job and executing what we need to execute in order for the scoreboard to take care of itself.
And let's talk a little bit about your opponent here, Central Connecticut State. Very good team. They have a run game. Of course, they got Elijah Howard set the tone for them this year. What's the key for you defensively to kind of match up against a player like that?
Yeah, Coach has done a phenomenal job with the team. It's something that we even looked at last year as they made their run last year. But Adam's done a phenomenal job of getting those guys going, and what they've been able to do. I mean, they're a well-coached team, disciplined, all those things that you're looking to be. Ultimately going into defensively, we just got to play gap sound defense. There's nothing special about what we need to do. We just need to do our jobs. When a play is called and, someone has the A, B, C, D, E, F, G gap, you got to make sure you're in that gap. I mean, they have the ability to turn the ball upfield with their running backs, even with their quarterback, with the run game. And then they can also hurt you in the RPO game and then also, from the pass game. So from a fundamental technical standpoint defensively, we have to be sound in everything we do. And that's going to be the key. And then the bigger thing of that is we got to make sure it's not a singular man tackling their running backs, their receivers, their quarterback. It's got to be a gang tackle. And we talk about, that aspect of it every week where there's got to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hats on the ball to make sure that we get the ball carrier down regardless of who it is. But they do bring that extra wrinkle with their run game and who their running backs are. They're special, and that's where, we got to give all the credit to them and we got to do what we need to do, but we got to be fundamentally sound in everything that we do from a tackling standpoint, playing behind our hands, keeping the ball in front of us and running our feet on contact.
So the other thing with them, or one of the other things with them on offense, is they have this way of winning close games. Defensively, they can create those key turnovers. So what does your offense need to do to stay composed in these big moments as they come up to really avoid their turnover machine they have there?
Yeah, defensively, they're playing, when you look at some of their scores and what they've been able to do all year, it's not just a one-off here and a one-off there. Defensively, they're playing at a high level as well. And that's what for us offensively, we just got to execute the game plan. I think as we look at the last couple of weeks and there's been some wrinkles, starting off slow, starting off fast, whatever it might be, we just got to stay consistent. I think that's the biggest thing offensively going into this week, staying consistent with our blocking scheme, staying consistent with our protection, and then being done what you're coached to do on each play and, how each play has a certain wrinkle and all those things. So, offensively, I think guys just playing and sticking together and continue doing what we've been doing the last couple of weeks. Obviously you'd like to get the machine going a little earlier. So, we're looking for that to happen going into this week. And, when you talk about games won, the turnover ratio is a big piece of that, taking care of the football. So, making sure that we continue this week with doing some of our fundamental rotations with ball security and all of those different things from that end. And then ultimately playing the next play mentality, right? Offense, defense, and special teams is something that we have to do. And if something were to happen in that notion, then the other half has to pick up the other side of the ball, and that's where us having each other's backs, believing in each other is ultimately kind of what we've been talking about week to week and what we've been, doing week to week. And if we got out of the bye week, we've kind of continued doing that. And, the players know, and you can hear the self-talk, you can hear it on the sidelines, the positive self-talk, all those things, but ultimately we just got to take care of the football, keep the football away from the other team and not force turnovers and not have any turnovers.
All right, and then on the other side, this one thing, of course, they've got a good defense in general, maybe the best linebacking core in the league, but they've got Chris Jean in the backfield there who's just always an interception machine, always a big play waiting to happen on defense. How do you challenge him? How do you keep him from doing what he's done all season?
He's a phenomenal player. Watching him and watching tape, just this past week and what he's been able to do, and throughout the year, not only in the NEC but also in out of conference play, he's a solid player. He knows what he's doing. He's clean out of his breaks. He plays with good eyes. Ultimately, we got to make sure that we challenge him not only from the pass game but also from the run game. Right? If we can get the run game going and have it continuously going, that's where I think the difference is going to be in the game. Obviously, as the defensive coach, you always talk about making teams one-dimensional and all those different things. The run game is going to be important for us, where we can create some of those, whether it's mismatches, rollouts, play action plays, anything like that, where you're so worried about one thing and then boom, here's the shot play and here it is. So, I think ultimately we just got to continue doing what we've continued to do, these last couple of weeks, and ultimately just that's how we're going to challenge their team. Ultimately, is get the run game going and then complement it with the pass game and the RPO game.
And before we let you go, Coach, just want to let you know, of course, you've got Mercyhurst in this position, had an outstanding year. We'll have our first team, second team. There's plenty of accolades coming for you and the rest of the Lakers, but do want to let you know we've named you our 2025 Coach of the Year, so congratulations on an outstanding season to this point. And no cash prize for that.
I appreciate that, man.
Absolutely.
No, that's awesome. I think that's a testament to our staff, our administration, and our players. It had nothing to do with me. I'm just continue to harp on the little things that we need to harp on as a head coach, and ultimately the players make the plays. And the coaches recruit the players, and ultimately it's the staff's, right. It's a staff achievement. It's not, I know my name's in front of it, but kudos to my staff, kudos to our players, our administration, and really appreciate the honor and look forward to continue to do what we're doing here at Mercyhurst, and look forward to what we're going to be doing Saturday, but also for the future. And I can't thank you guys enough, from the coverage and everything that you guys have been doing as well. I think it's been great, just hearing family from back home and, alumni, talk about some of the different write-ups you guys do and the coverage you guys have had of Mercyhurst. It's phenomenal, and I really appreciate the award and the honor. And we got one more game to finish out this year, and hopefully we're on top at the end of the game after 60 minutes on Saturday.
Job's not done, and Coach, thank you as always for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Have a good one. We'll see you Saturday.
See you then. All right, now is Coach Ryan Remedios for the Mercyhurst Lakers. It's good stuff there. We're now looking at hard-hitting New Britain onto the field here, and love that faded Blue Devil logo. It just looks like football at midfield. Looks tough. Looks like there's been a lot of battles over that 50-yard line. And in the bleachers here, looks like we've got a high school marching band in the top right, and wondering if that's the New Britain, Connecticut High School Golden Hurricane there. It looks like it might be. So looks like the Golden Hurricane are going to be the marching band here for Central Connecticut State. And let's go ahead and just talk about some keys, some things that the Lakers are going to have to do to win this game. And I think there's one that's probably incredibly obvious here, and it's just Duquesne last week was able to run the football. When you run the football so successfully, you're going to come out on the winning side most of the time, and they did last week. Now, that was Taj Butts for the Duquesne Dukes. So for the Lakers today, it's going to have to be Brian Trobel, and he's been one of the best running backs. He's a receiving threat. He's a threat out of the Wildcat. He's always a threat when you pitch him the ball, hand the ball off to him. So they've got this big play ability here at running back, and they're going to need it. That's probably something Central Connecticut really focused on during this week, was kind of working to stop the run a little bit more than they had been. So seeing if that's going to be something that they're going to be able to really key on and do a little bit more than they were able to against the Duquesne Dukes. So stopping the run for the Blue Devils is going to be key, and for the Lakers, it's going to be being able to establish it and do some big things with it. I think another one, too, is just defensively, the Lakers are going to have to stop Elijah Howard. He's like Trobel. He's the guy who can do a lot of really good things, a lot of big things. He's a threat out of the passing game, catches a lot of passes. He's looking like he's going to be getting to 1,000 yards here. and that's with missing some games. So Howard's just easily the key to this Blue Devils offense. He's not the only key. Brady Olson, we know, has come back. He's not the same player. He's much better. So it's another piece that the Lakers are just going to have to contend with here as we get closer to kickoff, around 20 minutes away now at a root field where the Central Connecticut State Blue Devils play. Looking like kind of a gray day as the senior day celebrations begin here on the field. And congratulations to all the seniors for Central Connecticut State. Stuck around, graduated, got their degree, and now just heading on to the rest of their life's work. And then with the Lakers, Adam Urena is always key, but Dylan Evans, can they get him going early? If you're able to turn him into a big receiving threat, suddenly you're not one dimensional where you're relying on pounding the rock, which is what I think the strategy will ultimately be. We'll be focusing on pounding that rock. But I think that they're going to have to get a receiving threat opened up. They've got plenty of receivers. They've got Rylan Davis and they've got Dylan Evans, but they're going to have to really get him going, I think, because he's had these games where he's 9 catches, he's unstoppable. Other games, he's, I think a little bit nicked up during this season, but then also just 1, 2, 3 catches, and they're going to be at their best if they're able to get him the ball early and often. Then the last key offensively, they're going to have to look out for Chris Jean in the defensive backfield. He's been not just a turnover machine, but he's also a pass breakup machine. He's the best defensive player in the NEC, and we saw him come on a little bit toward the end of last year. Uh, Liked what we saw, but I don't think anyone really expected the explosion we've got where it was okay. He's had a few games, he's strung a few games together. He's the best defensive rookie. And he's turned that into being the best defensive player. So definitely going to be something to keep an eye on. Are they able to keep the ball from Chris Jean when they go to the air? So look for that matchup. Let's see what he's going to be doing, who's going to be covering. And from there, hopefully just be able to get a good read on the game. We're hoping to see a Lakers win. So speaking of Central Connecticut State, though, we're going to go ahead and kick it over to an interview with Rob Gulo. Rob is the Central Connecticut State beat writer for the New Britain Herald. Also does some very good work on a friend of ours, the New England Football Journal. So let's go ahead and see what Rob has to say about Central Connecticut State heading into this NEC championship game. NECBlitz pregame show, Mercyhurst Lakers at Central Connecticut State Blue Devils. We've got here with us Rob Gullo. He's the beat writer for the New Britain Herald on CCSU. Rob, did I get the last name right?
It's Gulo, but everybody pronounces it Gullo, so I'll let it slide.
I appreciate that. Gulo it is. So, just tell us a little bit about how the Central Connecticut season's been feeling. What's the mood over there in New Britain?
I mean, ever since the summer, since I visited to do my preseason positional breakdown stories, the mood has been that they're hungrier than they were a year ago. And obviously a year ago they were in a much different position before the season. They were picked last, they ended up in first place, and Coach Lechtenberg really installed in everybody's mind, hey, they picked us to go last this year. Just because they picked us to go first this year, it doesn't mean anything. We have to go out there and still prove that we haven't done what we want to do. So everybody that I talked to, all the coaches, all the players, they seem hungrier than they were last season. And I think it starts there, having that mindset. And then they lost a lot of players, as a lot of teams do nowadays, with just the landscape of the transfer portal and everything. But they did bring a lot of key players back, and starting offensively, obviously they brought back the reigning NEC Offensive Player of the Year and Elijah Howard, and he's on pace to rush for 1,000 yards if he rushes for, I think, over 87 yards this Saturday. He's had 2 back-to-back good games, rushing for over 100 yards. Brady Olson, he looks like the most complete he's ever been. As of right now, his interceptions are halved. He's thrown for, I think, 3 more touchdowns than a year ago. And He leads the NEC in passing yards, and he's coming off a career game throwing for, I think it was 423 yards against Duquesne last weekend. So, having those two help. They brought back arguably their best offensive lineman in Isaiah Deloach from last year. That was their biggest question heading into the season. One of them was how's the new O-line going to do, and they've shown that they've done well. As far as receivers and tight ends, they're not going to have a guy who's going to go for 800 receiving yards. It just hasn't been the case the last couple of years, but Olsen's been able to dish the ball out well. And, you look at Donovan Wadley, he averages over 20 yards a catch. Guys like Dave Pardo, Michael Trovarelli, Ricky Ortega, all these guys have been able to step in. Peter Cleary at tight end is having his most productive season. So just on offense, returning the quarterback and running back, and then, just the linemen being able to step up, I think is kind of the basis for them on offense. And then on defense, they have really strong linebacker play. Returning Malachi Wright and Jack Stoll and even Gavin Taylor, those three, as well as Carter Banks, the addition from, I think, James Madison, they're all having, phenomenal seasons. Stoll leads the team in tackles. Taylor, Banks, and Wright, they have 17 and a half of the team's 27 sacks. And then you go to the secondary, which is led by Christopher Jean. We all know he made a huge name for himself at the end of last season, and he's picked it up this season. Has 4 picks, which is second in the NEC, and has a league-leading 16 pass breakups. They've shown that they can make the last-minute big play like they did last season, and I think being able to rally around those guys, their defense is pretty strong.
Yeah, and there's a few guys I definitely want to key in here. I think one of them first, as you mentioned, returning the quarterback, Brady Olson. I would argue they didn't return Brady Olson. Brady Olson last year is not Brady Olson this year. Really has made a huge improvement. Is there anything you've seen that either you saw this coming or something that's different about his game this year?
He just looks more poised, more confident. Being another year in the system helps, so I'm sure he's more comfortable. He's turned the ball over less, so maybe his decision making is a little bit better. Nothing out of the ordinary. He's always had the arm. He's always been a winner. Winning all last season with the team. So it's not so much the tangibles. I think it's just a couple small things, and just being in the system another year definitely probably helped him.
And don't want to sleep on Central Connecticut State linebackers. You mentioned there's 4 of them. They're all good. I can tell you 3 of them are going to make our all-league teams. They're that good at linebacker. But Chris Jean has been the best defensive back in the NEC, and it hasn't really been close. We saw him at the end of last year come on a bit, but he's kept up this momentum this year. What have you seen in terms of growth from last year to this year?
For him, I think it's more of a leadership role. Last year he was just getting in, onto the field, and obviously he made a big name for himself. But, I think it's kind of the same whether it's the high school level or the college level. It's kind of tough for a freshman or redshirt freshman, maybe even a sophomore, to kind of be a leader of the team, especially with older upperclassmen. And I know that was one thing that Lechtenberg and Gene himself kind of emphasized heading into the season, was him taking more of a leadership role on. And, I think with that, you want to not only push yourself to do better than what you did last year, but your teammates around you. And, obviously some of the older guys in the secondary, seeing a younger guy like that, it's going to want to push themselves more. Same with him. He's not the biggest corner. I think he's 5'9", $180. So it's not so much like the physicality. It's really, just being a poised corner, and, his mindset's pretty sharp. Any time I've spoken with him, he's, has a good head above his shoulder, and, as well as everybody else, he just doesn't seem hungry. He always wants to do better, and, he's shown with time he can do better.
Yeah, and you mentioned Central Connecticut State lost a lot. The reigning NEC Defensive Player of the Year, Clark, he's one of the guys who left. So when you look at this team and they were picked by the coaches to finish first, I mean, is there still a hunger to them where it really feels like they have something to prove having lost those players? Is it something where they feel like they're defending a crown? What's kind of the mindset of the team from your experience?
Oh, 100%. They're hungry. Lechtenberg said, yeah, we kind of flipped the season around last season from the season before, but they went to Rhode Island. I was at that game. They played them very competitively, and they ended up losing. They lost a close game, and he's like, they want to compete for an FCS championship, and making it's cool and all, but they want to continue that success and win a playoff game this season. So, I mean, winning the title again and getting the automatic bid would be great for them. I mean, who's denying that? But it's not like they're not going to be satisfied with just that.
And to do that, theoretically, of course, there are more paths than this, but they might have to get through Mercyhurst. Just from the side in Central Connecticut, is there anything you're noticing over there? Are you guys seeing Mercyhurst season with some surprise, or what's kind of been the vibe?
One thing, Central, I forget what the streak is, but I know they're unbeaten at home against NEC competition this year, and it really seems like whenever they play at a route for a high stakes game, it falls into their hands. So I know every game is different. Mercyhurst, let me see, they started off 2-0 in conference play, and then they lost 2, and then they won their last 2. Is that correct?
Yeah,
or something
that's
like
it.
that.
Yes.
So conference games are always tough and close. I mean, every time I speak to Adam about conference games, he's always shown respect to the opposing teams, and regardless of who it is, he always expects a close game. Obviously, Mercyhurst, they won't have a chance at getting into the playoffs, but they do have a chance to win the crown. So I'm sure, that makes the other side over there a little bit hungrier. And of course, they want to end the season with a win and, have some bragging rights to say that they have a share of the title. And, they want to play spoiler to Central on Saturday. I mean, I'm sure there's some people around the league that probably don't want to see Central go to the playoffs a second season and, might want to see Duquesne go with, a win and a Central loss. But nothing stands out. I just think it's going to be a competitive conference game, and could it come down to the wire? It could. Could it be a one-sided victory? Who knows? I think whoever plays the best at all 3 facets throughout the game, and whoever makes the bigger plays in the fourth quarter, that's ultimately what's going to decide the winner of this game.
Last one, Rob. We know you do a lot of really good work over following high school football. You do some work with the New England Football Journal, who are good friends of ours. We love them. Are you going to be at this one in New Britain Saturday?
Yes, I will. So, as always, I'll be active on Twitter. So if anyone wants to follow along and get some, live tweet updates, then, follow along, and I'll provide that coverage.
It's Rob GNBH, I think.
Yes.
All right, so follow Rob. He's going to be your Twitter follow for this game at Rob GNBH. We'll be on the radio side, so no tweets over here. He's your guy. Rob, thanks so much.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, so that was Rob Gulo giving us the perspective for Central Connecticut State. Going to go over some lines here before we go ahead and take into timeout mode. Central Connecticut State University marching band on the field. So Mercyhurst at Central Connecticut. This is a CCSU favored by 10.5. Wagner at Long Island University, also a noon game. This one started at Long Island, about a touchdown. They've moved up to a 10-point favorite. St. Francis at Stonehill. Stonehill is a 7.5-point favorite. That's a 1 o'clock game. And then Duquesne at RMU, 2 o'clock game. Duquesne is a 13.5 favorite. So with that, we're going to go ahead and put it into timeout mode for a few minutes. We will be back with kickoff, if you're syncing up with the NEC Front Row broadcast, we're probably going to be about 30 seconds to a minute behind, just for your own, I guess, knowledge there. If not, if you're listening to us on the radio, doing things around the house, or driving through town, driving through Erie, we want to thank you for taking the time to spend with us, and, go Lakers. All right, and we are back. We are approaching kickoff here. Coach-elect on the sidelines for CCSU, and just a lot of excitement here. I think everyone knows we're playing for, as Coach Remedios said. We know that this is a championship game for the Lakers. We know that this is a championship game for the Blue Devils in different ways, but nevertheless, everyone here gets a shot at a banner if they win. Blue Devils still have a banner in either case, but no one wants a share of the championship and not to go to the playoff, at least not if you have that chance to go to the playoff. I think for Mercyhurst, first year in the NEC, a little bit different. They know that they're ineligible for the playoff. Central Connecticut State is going to be kicking off to the Lakers to begin this game. A lot of energy on that Blue Devils sideline. And we're seeing the Lakers sideline get up to. And here is the kickoff. Good. This is going to be fielded kind of a squib. Lakers and fielded, run field out to about the 22-yard line. That's where the Lakers are going to go ahead and start this drive. There is a flag down on the play. This will be a holding on Mercyhurst, so we will be back just a little bit from that expected starting position. We'll see where they end up spotting the ball here. Oh, and they're going to be back quite a bit, so they're going to start from the shadow of their own end zone. Looks like the 8-yard line. So the long field challenge to go ahead and begin this game for the Lakers. Arena sets up in the shotgun. Two wide receivers to the right side. Man in motion. Trouble sidecar. Handoff up the gut. Oh, and he's got yardage. This is going to be a first down caught about 12 yards there for big number 2. So Lakers ordinarily like to get it going, like to get back to the line pretty quickly here. And no huddle. Get Evans on his own left side line, weak side ordinarily. You're in, of course, the southpaw. Two right receivers to the right. Far side of the field. And this one, play action. Pass to number 6. Caught, dragged down. This one's going to be about 8 yards. So 2nd and 2 for the Mercyhurst Lakers. They are moving the ball well here early on. Starting from your own end zone, effectively, you worry about how you're going to be able to get it going. But they've done well so far. This is now a 5 wide receiver set. You're in the shotgun alone. Back. This one over the middle, and it's going to be dropped. Not able to hold on is Kerbacher. Pass was in a pretty good place. Decent coverage there from the Blue Devils. It's going to go ahead and make it kind of that tough throw. Just not able to hold on. So the 3rd and 1, as it turns out, option. They are going to be in the shotgun here. 0-0, 13:34 to go in the first half. Looks like Trouble in the sidecar. Urena, wide receiver split out each way. Play action pass again over the middle. Off of Evans' hands, but he had I wouldn't even call it a blanket around him so much as looks like might have had a little bit of an early, we'll call it coverage there from Central Connecticut State. Not something that's going to be called, so this will be 4th and 1 for the Lakers. They're deep in their own end. Wouldn't expect them to stay on the field here. And yeah, it looks like a punt formation. They are in punt safe. But no trickery here. Lakers go ahead and punt it. This is a good punt. It's going to be fielded around the 30. and making some moves. And look out, he's got a lot of room here as he comes toward the left side of the field and finally forced out of bounds at the Lakers' 20-yard line. So fantastic field position to begin here for the Blue Devils. Looked like they had a good punt going, but unfortunately just not really able to get the coverage as he was able to break it from right to left, run horizontal and just really avoid all the tacklers. There was no one on that side of the field. They had kind of run toward the ball, and suddenly he had nothing but green in front of him. Fortunately, the Lakers able to get him out of bounds on the side. So this is Olsen. He is in the pistol set, 4 wide receivers, maybe call one an H-back. Howard in the backfield. This is a handoff to Howard. He's running to the far side. He's going to get the first down. He's going to get more. And as long as he didn't step out, yes, it is a touchdown for the Blue Devils. 6-0, 13:04 remaining in the first quarter. Elijah Howard just made that look easy. I don't think he was untouched, but it wasn't more than a hand on him. Basically able to get to that side and just enough of a gap put out there by the Blue Devils wide receivers. He was on the edge, looked like they had a chance that he would step out, but he high steps into the end zone at the end there, and the current NEC champions are up 7-0 as we'll get the next opportunity for the Mercyhurst offense this time to even things up. Yeah, just right along the sideline, and Howard able to stay in bounds, get to the end zone, and shaking my head, Elijah Howard's one of those guys who always passes the laugh test of he's good enough that you watch him and sometimes you're laughing watching him because he is this good. And that's kind of what we saw there. He stayed in bounds perfectly and getting the fight song from, we believe, the Golden Hurricane, as well as the Central Connecticut State University band. Looks like the high school band's a little bigger. And you see that in the NEC with the college bands. Blue Devils set to kick it off here. They are 7-4, 5-1 in the NEC. Mercyhurst 5-6, 4-2 in the NEC. And understandably, lots of energy on that Blue Devils sideline as they do kick off. Lakers go ahead and field this here. And running, a lot of misdirection there as he returns it out to the 25. Good coverage from the Blue Devils once again. They're able to, kind of stay in the lanes and force it to what would have been effectively a fair catch or the touchback as the Mercyhurst offense gets back on the field here. And I would like to see Brian Trobel get a little bit more involved. He's got 1 carry so far. With that carry, he's able to get a first down. Better field position for the Lakers here, and time to settle it down, just get downfield and even this game up. Fake the pass to Trobel, backwards pass, but caught by the Lakers receiver. He gets to just about a 3-yard gain to the 28-yard line. I believe that was Ryland Davison. Let's check that. Yeah, it looks like that was Davison on the catch there. I think that'll probably turn out as a Evan Van Dyke. Check that. That'll probably end up being scored as a run play because it was a backwards pass. Dangerous play. Hard count from Urena. Blue Devils showing blitz like they want to come off the edge here, and they do. Deep throw, and just a little bit too far. That one was for Ryland Davison, as we're now going to come up with a 3rd and 7. A little bit too much gas in that throw. Urena couldn't quite pull the string to keep it within striking distance. Third and 7, Blue Devils sideline getting up here. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Trobel in the backfield. Hardcat Arena. He's going to throw. This one's to Trobel, And this is a first down, about a 15-yard gain to get it to the Blue Devils' 40-yard line. So exactly what you wanted to see on it, third down. Managed to convert a very tough one. We call that a Texas route, where you just kind of run out and then curl it back in. 40-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Lakers. Pistol set, 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Urena. Trouble behind him. Looks like Van Dyke in motion. Hands it off to Trouble, who's met in the backfield. This is going to be a loss of 1. Tackled down a little bit after the whistle. Got no flags on this one. It's going to be a 2nd and 11. As the Blue Devils are just more than equal to that opportunity. And we'd like to see Trouble get the ball more. Unfortunately, it sounds like the Blue Devils were kind of waiting on that, more than equal to it. Shotgun set, 2 to the left, 1 to the right, H-back on the left side. Trouble sidecar on the right. Urena back to throw. This one for Evans, and he's looking for another PI flag. The Blue Devils are getting there awfully quick for the Lakers. It's going to be 3rd and 11 now at the 39-yard line, and not necessarily punting territory if you're able to make some good yards here. 5 wide receivers set for the Lakers. Urena's alone in the backfield in the shotgun. Flag on this one, and he is hit hard. Urena's sacked on the play down to the 35-yard line. There is a flag on the play. Looking over at the Mercyhurst sideline, always a good option or a good sign. This one is offsides on the Blue Devils, so we're going to get a replay here. 3rd down and 6. Take it to about the 44-yard line. 10:42 remaining here in the first quarter. Central Connecticut State up 7-0 on our Lakers. Four wide receivers, 2 each side. You're in a shotgun. It's like Rodriguez in the backfield. This one out to Evans, unable to make the play. Very strong pass defense from Central Connecticut State there. And the Lakers likely are going to have to punt here. Is unable to just quite get it close enough. So 4th down and 6, own 44. I mean, awfully close to where you'd like to see 4th down attempt, but right now might be a chance for the Lakers defense to get back on the field and make some adjustments that they had to make after that quick Elijah Howard score. Punt is off. It's a good one. It's going to be fielded. Oh, it's a fumble. He muffs the punt. I think the Lakers fell on this one. I think the Lakers, they did. It's at the 3-yard line. Mercyhurst ball as the punt is muffed on the bounce. Lakers able to land on it. And there is a flag on the play. And we'll have to see what this is. This one is on Mercyhurst, but it is Mercyhurst ball still. So, yeah, muffs the punt, tries to fall in as it gets behind him, muffed him on the bounce, and the Lakers are able to land on that. That was inside the 5-yard line. We'll have to see. Looks like they are going to start at the same location. Could have been no foul on the play. Urena in the backfield with Rodriguez. 3 wide receiver set, 2 on his right, 1 on his left. Evans, pop pass. He's got room. He's going to get in. He's going to score. Touchdown, Lakers. 6-7 here, 10:02 remaining as they capitalize quickly on the mistake. And the pop pass to Dylan Evans is enough for the score. And inspired play design, just get one of your best athletes in space toward the far side of the field. Usually good enough for 3-4 yards at least, and able to make it happen there. And this extra point to tie the game. This one is good. 7-7 Lakers as they tie it up. Special teams early on being a differentiator on either side, good or bad, for the Blue Devils. So with that, 7-7 Lakers will be kicking the ball off from here. We're going to take a short timeout. 7-7 NECBlitz.com, Mercyhurst Lakers Radio. We are back. 7-7 Mercyhurst kicking off after the pop pass to Dylan Evans on the end around. Scores following an Elijah Howard touchdown for the Blue Devils. And here's the kickoff. Going downfield, going to be fielded inside the 10-yard line. And here come the Blue Devils. And there's going to be a stop here at about the 28-yard line. Decent return. And check for scores around the league here, see if we've got anything in our Burroughs Brawl. Right now, no score, 9 minutes remaining. LIU 0, Wagner 0. We're at 9:58 remaining, 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils. That is at the 29-yard line. And 3 wide receivers out to Olsen's right. Elijah Howard sidecar. Snap. High snap. Fielded well. Howard's going to run, trying to get outside. Really a lot of movement there, but he's going to get about 2 yards effectively up the middle at the end of that play. And really worked hard for those 2 yards. And Elijah Howard's always just such a joy to watch. He moves well. He gets to the outside. He gets back to the inside. He took what could have been a negative play, gets a couple yards out of it. No huddle here. Olsen shotgun, Howard sidecar, 2 to his right, 1 to his left. Play action pass, rolling out, deep throw, and just a little bit too far. Couldn't quite pull the string once again as they're going to survive this one. That's a attempt to, I believe, Michael Trovarelli. And so it'll be 3rd and 8. Blue Devils in kind of a situation here inside their own territory, 31-yard line. Olsen once again shotgun, Howard sidecar, 1 man to his left, 2 to his right. Tight end on the left side, motion with the wide receiver. And, good pass rush by the Lakers. He's in a lot of trouble. Olsen able to escape, throwing deep, and Paul Marsh Jr. is unable to get to that ball as it is incomplete. Not quite accurate enough, but truly just a miracle he's able to avoid the sack here as the Lakers got in there fast on the jailbreak. The punting unit is out for Central Connecticut State, of course. It'll have to be as they are inside their own territory. Really just what an escape escape by Brady Olson just to get that ball off. He should have been down behind the line. He's able to kind of squeeze in through a couple of his linemen. This is Bosak on punt. Gets a snap, clean. Punt is good. It's going to be fielded about the 25-yard line. Makes the first man miss. Gets upfield, and down at about the 34-yard line is Black. And so Mercyhurst is going to go ahead and start here. We're at the 9-minute mark. They'll be taking over at the 34-yard line. And so this is really a chance to take control of this game and start putting the Blue Devils on the ropes after that fast start. Urina's in the shotgun, Trobo sidecar. 2 men to his left. Third one gets the motion to his right. And this is Trobo. He's up in the middle for a big gain. He's able to get a lot of yardage here. And looks like about, call it 18, he gets to the Blue Devils' 48-yard line into Central Connecticut State territory. And looks like there might still be some holes with that rush defense that we thought we saw last week with Taj Butts at Duquesne. That and Trobo and Butts are both tremendous backs. Mercyhurst getting set. Shotgun for Urina. Evans out wide to the right. 3 receivers bunched out to the left. 1 in motion toward the right side. Snap, play action pass. Urina looking deep. Gets Davison over the middle. He's going to get inside to about the 26-yard line of the Blue Devils. That's going to be about a 20-yard gain. Signals for the first down, and the mojo is here now for the Lakers as they're moving the ball on this Central Connecticut State team. Decent pass rush there for the Blue Devils, but Davison kind of finds a soft spot, able to get in front of one man and behind another, where Urina is just able to loop it in there. Easy rainbow, easy pitch and catch. Shotgun once again. Receivers each side. Looks like a 2 tight end set. Trobo makes it a pistol. Trobo will get the handoff. Left side, he has some room, and that's going to be about 5 yards as he's taking it just outside the red zone here for the Lakers. 7:27 remaining in the first. 7-7 Mercyhurst in Central Connecticut State here in hard-hitting New Britain. Back into shotgun. Trobo sidecar. 2 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. Tight end left side. Tight end motion. And looks like, oh man, that was Camden Lewis gets the catch, but Chris Jean's right there, and Christine just levels him on a play. It's going to make it a 3rd and 4. No real gain at all there because, well, Jean's right there, and Jean lays the hit. Lucky Lewis was able to hang on to that one because he certainly gave him a shot. We're going to be back in the shotgun. Looks like Rodriguez in the backfield next to Urina. 2 wideouts far to the left. Evans a little bit closer on the right side. Ball is on the right hash. Resetting here. Rodriguez just changed the sides. And this looks like a false start on effectively everyone but the center. So this will move the Lakers back. This is going to be now a 3rd and 9. Definitely not what you wanted to get into here. This is going to put you into a situation where you've got to get 10 yards on 3rd down. First, never an easy task. And then you assuming you get some yards here, you kind of have to start thinking about what you do in terms of, is this going to be are you going to go for it? You're probably a little bit out of field goal range, have to go either way, so you don't need it all back here. Evans over the middle, making the slant from the far side. He does have the catch. looks like about the 20-yard line, so this is short. And we're going to see about a 4th and 2 here. And have to imagine that the Lakers stay on the field. Looks like the offense is staying on the field as they're getting to play in. Rodriguez will remain in at running back. Going to be a pistol set here. Evans left side, 2 wide receivers on the right, bunched in. Motion right to left receiver. This is a pass play, and this is a completed pass. Looks like enough for the Lakers' first down. Let's call in Melendez on the catch. And yes, that is going to be inside the red zone. That is going to be a first down at the 18-yard line. Melendez checks into the game there to make the catch. Shotgun, Trouble on the right-hand side. 2 wide receivers each side. Melendez moves back in to play tight end. Hard count for Urena. He's back. He's going to throw this one to the end zone, and this is going to be a pass interference call. As it looked a little, this may have been uncatchable, but the flag is thrown. There is a Laker down on the play. So it was fairly out of bounds, but Trouble probably, I think, just could have gotten up for that ball, so I'm expecting the flag to stand. This is going to be pass interference right on the goal line, and have to see where this one, if this one stands, it should be spotted very close as we have an injured Laker down on the field. And very good drive from Mercyhurst here, and this is kind of what they needed to show, that they were able to put together a full drive. Of course, first score, they get the ball right on the 3-yard line for Central Connecticut State. Little pop pass, one play, not much to it. No team has actually put together a sustained drive in this game yet until now, and we're seeing the Lakers be able to move the ball down the field, be able to matriculate the ball down the field as they get closer and closer. This is a Hurst down, 1st and goal, and this will be at the 2-yard line. And this is where the Lakers are dangerous. They've already shown they're going to be able to get the ball, side to side. They can move horizontal here. They've also got Brian Trouble, who's, especially if they decide to go Wildcat, very capable of getting those 2 yards. And looks like they're going Wildcat here as Urena goes from under center to the right side. This is going to be a direct snap to Trouble. Trouble up the middle. Touchdown Lakers, and it is 13-7. I think we expected that. we saw that Wildcat coming. That's something the Lakers just love to do there. And some celebration from the Mercyhurst side as the Lakers are going to go ahead and score this touchdown. They'll have a chance for the extra point here to go up 7. 13-7 right now. 4:14 remaining in the first quarter. And snap good, kick is up, kick is good. 14-7 Lakers as they take the lead on the Central Connecticut State Blue Devils in hard-hitting New Britain. They're playing for a championship today, and we're able to show this ability to get downfield. We're going to take a short break here. 14-7 Mercyhurst Lakers in the first. are back. This is a kickoff for the Mercyhurst Lakers. CCSU fields it, able to get up in the middle somewhat. This is going to be roughly comparable to the last drive starting position at the 28-yard line. 4 minutes, 8 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. 14-7 Mercyhurst up. So we get a chance to see the Blue Devils offense again. And haven't had the chance really to do a sustained drive. Their first time out, they were able to give the ball to Elijah Howard, score easily. Second time, though, the Lakers were able to stuff them. So Olsen in the shotgun here. He's got the sidecar, 2 wide receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Snaps the ball. He's going to throw this one. He hits Wadley. Wadley able to make a move. Not quite able to make the Laker miss. Looks like about they're going to say 9-yard gain here. So Donis Marshall is the guy who's able to check that. Anthony Mackey, the guy who's able to get him out. And handoff to Howard. We kind of got back from the replay late. He's running in. He's still up on his feet. Still going, and he's going to get to about the Lakers' 23-yard line. Went right up the middle there. That's going to be about 40 yards on the ground. So Elijah Howard should have no trouble at this point. I think he's at 60 yards. Shouldn't have much trouble breaking that 1,000-yard barrier if my math is correct. I think he needs 17 yards through the rest of the game. Olsen shotgun, Howard sidecar, play action pass. He's going deep for Trovarelli. This one's to the end zone. And incomplete. So 2nd and 10 with 2:50 remaining for the Blue Devils. Definitely taking shots at this Lakers defense. They're running the ball, getting some yards, and then trying to go directly to the air after that. 2nd and 10. 23-yard line. Olsen is in the pistol. 2 wideouts to his right, 1 to his left. Tight end. This one's a handoff up the middle. Looks like about 3 yards. It's going to be Donnie Marcus on that one. So it gets to the 20-yard line. That'll get us to a 3rd and 7. Two wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. Looks like Donnie Marcus is still in as the sidecar for Olsen on his right side. Motion left to right from the receiver. Olsen rolling out to his right. Has a man. And looks like that'll be completed for the first down. Good catch, and that one is to Damani Williams. He's going to get just outside the Mercyhurst 10-yard line. 9-yard pickup. 1st and 10, Mercyhurst 11. Olsen hands it off to Marcus. Had me fooled. Thought he pulled that back. That's a pickup of, call it 3 yards. 2nd and 7. We are at the Mercyhurst 8-yard line. 1:52 remaining here in the first quarter. 14-7 Lakers. Elijah Howard's checking back into the game here. Olsen, pistol set, 2 wideouts to his left. He has a tight end. It's like tight end in an H-back. Handoff, middle, Howard. He looks good. He's just outside of the first down marker, I believe. This should be a 3rd and 1. Blue Devils huddle up. Remember when teams used to do that? Pistol set once again with the H-back and with the tight end. 2 wideouts to his right. This looks like a place they want to go power. And they do. This one's Howard up the middle, and he's going to score. He breaks a few tackles on his way in. touchdown, Central Connecticut State. Elijah Howard, and it's 14-13, 53 seconds remaining on the clock. So we'll bring Jack Hennessy out to attempt to tie this game up. Blue Devils able to respond, and we're up 14-14 now. Both teams showing that ability to have sustained drives. This kick is up and good. 14 all, 51 seconds remaining. 14-14 from hard-hitting New Britain. And the CCSU flags in the opposite end zone are waving. We've got the cheer team doing push-ups at... they better pace themselves. We're looking like we're going to get a lot of points here in the early goings of this game. CCSU white lids, blue shirts, blue pants. Mercyhurst green helmets, white shirts, green pants. And preparing to kick the ball off here. Bosak goes to kick it. And this one's deep. Johnny Askew's running out, hits his own guy. He's going to get to about the 18-yard line as he bounced off, and Central Connecticut State was there to make the stop. So Mercyhurst are starting this one from their own 18-yard line, 44 seconds to go in the quarter. Arena shotgun, sidecar, one rider side, motion left to right, and Central Connecticut State breaks through the line here. It's the Blue Devils are pointing false start, but looks like an offsides from this vantage point. Referees discussing it and indicating that it's an offsides on the Blue Devils. And yes, so it'll be a 1st and 5 for the Mercyhurst Lakers. Again, 14-14, 44 seconds to go in the first quarter. At the end of the first in the Burroughs Brawl, it's now 7-7. Shotgun, 2 wide receivers, 1 each side. Troble sidecar. This is a handoff to Troble. And they're going to mark him down. He thinks he's still up. Flips the ball to the official. It's going to be a 3-yard gain. Would like to see this one again. So 2nd down and 2. Clock counting down here. Arena shotgun, wide receiver each side. 2 tight ends. This one is play action. He's going deep with this to Evans. An incomplete pass as the quarter ends. So 3rd and 2, and we come back. 14-14. Exciting one here in New Britain. Mercyhurst Lakers, Central Connecticut State, NECBlitz Radio for the Mercyhurst Lakers. We'll be back when the quarter starts back up. They're back. 3rd and 2. Arena shotgun. Oh, he splits out wide now. This is going to be Wildcat for Trouble. Fakes the handoff, runs to the outside. He's got room, and he's going to get down to his own 35-yard line. First down, Lakers. Gain of just under 10 yards, but there is a Blue Devil down here. About 15, 20 minutes from starting over the 1 o'clock game at Stonehill as St. Francis will play their last ever Division I football game. Transition to D3 at the end of the season. St. Francis 0-10, Stonehill 3-8. CCSU player remains down. It's 14:50 here in the second quarter. Sky's looking very gray here in central Connecticut. Again, just good fall turning into winter time to play football. Something we're fortunate enough to get up here in the Northeast. You don't get this in full part of the country. And I think playing football in the elements in the cold weather is part of playing football. Lights are on, even though it is quite early here in the day, central Connecticut. Team's still huddled up. And it looks like he's able to get off with some assistance. As the teams are lining back up here. All right, so we're going to play some more football here. Reen in the shotgun. 2 wide routes to his left, 1 to his right. Motion left to right. This is a pop pass. Number 80, it's Jason Woods, and he's going to go ahead and get about 7 yards on that short pass. Make it 2nd and 3 as we are now at the 47-yard line of the Lakers. Lakers moving towards central Connecticut's part of the field. 2nd and 3 can do a lot of things here because you're probably going to try to get those 3 yards on 4th down if you don't try on 3rd. Pistol, Urena, play action pass, thrown to Evans. Ball not quite on target. Might have even had a hand on that one. It'll be 3rd and 3, 13:56 remaining, 14-14 game. That energy in the Blue Devils sideline has subsided just a little bit here. Urena shotgun, triple sidecar, 2 wide receivers bunched. Oh, and this one a pitch to the wide receiver, some good motion, easily enough for the 1st down. And that is number 6, Evan Van Dyke, who's able to take that. I think that one will qualify as a run. And he got to about the 41-yard line. And they're going to spot it at the 39, so about 20 yards on that rush. And you want to try to run the ball in this Blue Devils defense, and so far that's what the Lakers have been able to do successfully. This was an offensive line that surprised some people. Shotgun. This one's a handoff to Trouble. He's got room. He's getting out in the middle. Spins out of one tackle and then gets knocked down. Calling for the first down, which he's got. He's got that, looks like the 26-yard line of the Blue Devils. And just what a play. And this rushing attack is able to not just compete, but capitalize against Central Connecticut State. This might be an Achilles heel we're seeing with this team. We know they can pass rush. We know that they've got Chris Jean. They're able to defend the pass so well, but the Lakers are moving the ball on the ground very well here. And teams huddling up. I believe this is a timeout. Let's go ahead and give you the Week 12 FCS Top 25 from Redshirt Sports, redshirtsports.xyz. First place, North Dakota State, all 26 first place votes. Second, Montana State. Third, Montana. 4, Lehigh. 5, Tennessee Tech. 6, Tarleton State. 7, Harvard. 8, Mercer. 9, Stephen F. Austin. 10, Monmouth. 11, North Dakota. 12, Villanova. 13, Rhode Island. 14, Illinois State. 15, UC Davis. 16, Youngstown State. 17, Abilene Christian. 18, South Dakota. 19, Lamar. 20, Jackson State. 21, Southeast Louisiana. 22, South Dakota State. 23, Northern Arizona. 24, Alabama State. 25, Lafayette. Duquesne receiving a vote this week in this poll. Shotgun, Urena. Trouble, sidebar. And looks like Trouble is going to get in the end zone, but there was a penalty here. This one's probably coming back in the backfield. Urena not celebrating, not moving. Looks upset. This one's going to be a holding penalty on the Lakers. So touchdown is going to be coming back here, and the Lakers will be going back to the Central Connecticut State 36-yard line. As the Lakers move back, I want to thank the Mercyhurst Athletic Department, first for being such good partners, and second for giving us this opportunity to bring Lakers broadcast radio to you. 3 wide receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. It's Dylan Evans. Trouble sidecar motions left to right. This pass to Evans is incomplete. Really trying to get him going here early, but just not able to get Evans going just yet. Now you've got to get 20 yards here, but you have 3 downs to do it. You're definitely in 4-down territory. So you can pace yourself a little bit. You don't need to get it all back at once. That was a short pass, I think, part of that strategy. Urena, shotgun, Trouble to his left. 1 wide out to his left, 2 wide outs to his right. Play action pass. This one thrown to Van Dyke. He'll catch it. Does get knocked down a few yards into his run. Gain of, call it 7. So this is 3rd and 13. Again, you have 2 chances to get it here. So no need to try to get it all back. Urena, shotgun, has the sidecar. 3 wide receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Rodriguez, right to left motion. This looks like offsides. Throws the back shoulder pass to Evans, but there is a flag on the play. It looked like an edge rusher for the Blue Devils jumped a little bit early here, and that is the call. So this will remain 3rd down, but a more manageable 3rd and 8. And you've now got 2 chances to get 8 yards, so no need to panic here if you're the Lakers. It'd be nice to get them all back at once. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Sidecar, left side, it's Trouble. This is a handoff to Trouble. He has some room, and not quite able to get to the first down. Very strong run. Looks like he got about 6 on that play. So this will be a 4th and 2. We're at 11:40 remaining in the second quarter. Clock is running 14-14. And big play here. I don't think it's a big decision. I think the Lakers are absolutely going for this one. Urena, shotgun. Has 2 running backs, one to his left, one to his right. Bunched in receivers. Looked almost broken, but Tribble run up the middle. This one's going to be tight. I don't think he got it. I think he got about 1.5 there. Going to be extremely close, but Lakers offense coming off the field here, and it looks like Central Connecticut State's going to take over with the ball. This will be at about their own 22, and let's see. Yeah, Tribble is down just before that first down marker, not quite able to get in there. So first down and 10, own 22 for Central Connecticut State. Brady Olson in the shotgun, has the sidecar. Receiver left, receiver right. Second receiver motions left to right. This one, a run up the gut from Elijah Howard, gets about 4 yards here. To the 26-yard line, second down. Olsen shotgun, Howard to his right. 2 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. One motion, same motion we saw last play. And, oh, he should have caught that one. This was a pass that hit off the hands of the wideout and was just dropped. Had space, tried to make kind of a turn with the ball, tried to catch it and make a turn. Difficult play, but have to make that. And it's 3rd and 6, 10:27 remaining in the second quarter. Olsen shotgun, sidecar, 2 wideouts to his left, 1 to his right. Steps up, throws. This looks like a first down to Elijah Howard, especially he makes about 3 men miss. There's no defense for Elijah Howard. You can do your best, but how do you tackle a guy who's never there? First down. Central Connecticut State makes it to the 28-yard line here. And this next play happened pretty quick here, but is an incomplete pass. It's like to Kerfassi. So this will be 2nd and 10. Olsen shotgun, Howard sidecar, 3 wideouts to his right. Play action pass. Screen met immediately by the Lakers, and they're hoping to get looks like they're looking for the ball there. Managed to evade 1 tackle, but it's still going to be a loss of 2 yards. So 3rd and 12. At their own 26-yard line for the Blue Devils. Three wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. Shotgun for Olsen. Howard splits out. Olsen back. Pass across middle, caught. And a fantastic tackle there by Anthony Mackey. And that's going to save the potential first down. So ends up being a rather short Rather short gain. And this is going to be 4th and 6. So CCSU will have to punt. Good snap. Good kick. Really boomed this one over the head of the Mercyhurst returner, who subsequently gets tackled. This is going to be unnecessary roughness on somebody. I imagine the Blue Devils. As it looked like the Central Connecticut State guy engaged with him and tackled him when the ball was nowhere close. Referees discussing it. And this is actually a holding penalty on the Lakers, I suppose, from engaging, and it will be Mercyhurst ball. And referees are signaling at the 9-yard line. That looks like, frankly, a terrible call. I'll go on record with that. It should have been on State, without question. Looks like they're discussing this again. Referees back on the field, and they are moving the sticks up. So this may have they have gone ahead and called this a penalty on Central Connecticut State. So they are now starting at the 19-yard line. Looks like the penalty was holding. I think they could have gone with something else there. Pistol set. 2 wide receivers to the right for Urena. Looks like 1 to the left as well. Motion right to left. Calls for a snap. This is a handoff to Trouble. He bounces outside. He's running. He's got some room, and he's going to get out to, looks like, the Central 37-yard line. So the run offense has been there for the Lakers. Still having some work to do to get the pass game going. But able to, that was Aaron Rodriguez, in fact, not even Trouble. He got about 18 yards. Rodriguez moves into the pistol set, play action, pass, and Ryland Davison should have had that one. Tries to turn too quickly, drops the ball, and so we are going to have a 2nd and 10, 7:42 remaining, 14 all here. And Wildcat set. Trouble takes it, runs the outside. He's still going. As long as he stays in bounds, no one's going to get him here. 10-5 touchdown. And Brian Trouble out of the Wildcat, runs to the right, sweep. No one had a prayer. Urena went into motion on the play, which I think might have confused the defense, went right to left. Ball went to the right side, and Trouble is putting the team on his back here. He's absolutely been a monster. He's been unstoppable, and Central Connecticut does not yet have an answer for him. Here is individual statistics. He's at 132 yards on 11 attempts here. That one's going to be officially for 63 yards. And kick here to go up and is good. So 21-14 Lakers, 7:30 remaining in the second quarter. They're not just hanging around. They're exploiting here. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, it'll be the next kickoff. right, back here in New Britain. Lakers get set to kick off to the Blue Devils. Special teams have been important, but it's the run game for Mercyhurst. It's really been the difference. It's exactly what we saw last week against Duquesne. Someone's worked out something that you're able to run the ball on Central Connecticut State these past 2 weeks. This one fielded at the 10, and Blue Devils will be tackled at the 22-yard line. That's where they'll take over with 7:24 remaining in the second quarter. 21-14, Mercyhurst lead. Mercyhurst, with a win, will capture a share of the NEC championship. Central Connecticut State, if with a Mercyhurst win, will have to scoreboard watch the Duquesne Dukes. St. Francis and Stonehill just getting underway here at 1 o'clock hour. Olsen, empty set in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers to his left, 1 to his right. That's Howard. Howard motions back into the running back spot. High snap, able to handle it. Hand off to Howard, left side. Howard has a lot of room. And gets out of bounds after a good run, at least a first down. There is a flag on the play, but he got to the 17-yard line. However, the Blue Devils are moving back, likely going to be a holding penalty. And a very good play that's going to get wiped out here. It is a hold, so it'll be first and looks like they're just marking them back at the 22-yard line, so it will be a 1st and 10 yet again for the Blue Devils. Who are getting set here. Olsen, shotgun, Howard to his right. 3 wideouts to his right, tight end. Ball snap, handoff to Howard. Howard with a lot of room, able to avoid 1 tackle, basically a one-legged jump over him, and that looks like enough for the first down. I mean, anyway. Call it a gain of 11 there. Olsen snaps, rolling out to his right, hits Paul Marsh. Marsh is running down the sideline, gets to the 49-yard line of Mercyhurst. As here come the Blue Devils, they are rolling. And we're looking like we've got a high-scoring game here. Olsen, shotgun, 2 to his right, 1 to his left. Howard sidecar. H-back on the right side. Howard right side. Snap. Olsen back. Airs it out. He's going deep with this one. And almost caught. Now it's to Donovan Wadley. I can't believe he didn't catch that. It was very close. Some good defense from the Lakers there. And Wadley's such a big play threat. It's really how they use him. He tried to make a one-handed grab effectively. I suppose he was tied up a bit with the Mercyhurst defender. And so remains 2nd and 10 here. 49-yard line for Central Connecticut State. Just about the 50. Handoff. Up the middle. It's going to be a short gain here. And that was Donnie Marcus on the handoff. Going to just get inside the Mercyhurst territory. Looks like they're marking him down at the 49. Third and 9. Olsen, shotgun. 3 wideouts to his left, 1 to his right. Running back to his right side, splitting out. Across the middle. This one's going to be close. It's going to be short by a few yards here. Looks like it'll be 4th and 3. And definitely decision time here for the Blue Devils. Howard, running back, left side of Olsen. 3 wideouts to his left, 1 to his right. 4th and 3, 5:05 remaining in the second quarter. Mercyhurst up 21-14. Motion left to right. Howard wide open in the flat. He's going to have at least enough for the first down. He's going to keep going. He gets to about the 31-yard line and runs out of bounds. So first down, Central Connecticut State. Very good play design. Had the Lakers kind of frozen up toward the middle, and Howard able to get outside, get out of bounds with more than enough for the first down, about 10 more yards than he needed. Pistol set. Tight end left to right. Handoff. Up the middle. Looks like about 3 yards. It's Donnie Marcus. Takes the Blue Devils to about the 27-yard line for the Lakers. Shotgun pistol formation. 2 wideouts to the left, H back to left, 1 to the right, left to right motion. Olsen firing, effectively threw that ball away. And it'll be 3rd and 6, 4:12 remaining. And definitely in 4-down territory. You could always go to Hennessy here. He's an accurate kicker. Maybe not the biggest leg, but certainly accurate. And there's going to be a timeout here. Taken by Mercyhurst, 3rd and 6. At the Blue Devils, at the Lakers' 27-yard line. Blue Devils with the ball. And this is really a drive. They've tried to go big play a couple of times. Really had a chance, I think, with that Wadley toss. But here they're, and this timeout kind of gives them an idea of what to do to get those 6 yards, if they've got to do it this play or not. I think they'd like to. All right, Olsen shotgun, 2 wideouts to his left. Looks like Marcus to his left as well. Firing back, throws right, pass is caught. I think it'll be short. Fighting for extra yards is Sean O'Brien. But he only got to about the 25-yard line. Which would put him short, and obvious go-for-it situation here. At a 4th and 3, Olsen shotgun, Howard next to him, 2 wideouts to the right, 1 to the far left. Receiver motion right to left. Olsen back for the pass. Wadley wide open across the middle. Spins away from one guy, makes another miss. 3rd guy brings him down, and this is inside the red zone now to about the Mercyhurst 18-yard line. First down, Blue Devils, as they continue to make these clutch 4th downs. They've had a lot of success throwing across the middle today. And then, of course, when the middle is well covered, they're able to get Howard on the outside out of the flat. Howard is in the backfield. This is a shotgun formation for Olsen. Receiver on the left, motions to the right. It's a handoff to him on the end around. No, it's a play action. Olsen just floats one up, I think, to Howard, and they're going to lose a yard on this one to get back to the 20-yard line. And they will call it 2nd and 12. We're moving toward the 2-minute timeout. I believe Central is going to take a timeout here as well. Kind of use that 2-minute timeout as another one. Central in the huddle. Blue Devils and the high school marching band both walking down the stands here to get the halftime show going shortly. Olsen, shotgun, Howard on his right. That was an injury timeout. Throws pretty early on the Mercyhurst defense, but I believe that's caught at the 15-yard line. Which will make it a 3rd down and 7. He just is able to hang on to that. And now we've hit the 2-minute timeouts. We will take a short break. 3rd and 7 we return. Mercyhurst 21, Central 14. NECBlitz for Mercyhurst Lakers radio coverage. Getting back here as Central Connecticut State breaks their huddle and gets back on the field. 3rd and 7. We're at the 15-yard line. Have to get to the 8-yard line. Olsen, shotgun. Howard to his left. 3 wideouts to his left, 1 to his right. Hard count. Takes a snap. Touchdown. Pass over the middle to Trovarelli and jumping catch. Fantastic work. And Central Connecticut State scores the touchdown. 1:54 remaining here, and they'll have a chance to get Jack Hennessy to knock this one through and tie up the game. Worth noting that Mercyhurst will be kicking off the ball to start the second half. If you don't want to give Central Connecticut State that chance to double up, you've got to find a way to score quickly, and it might actually be on the ground. Kick is up by Hennessy. Gets it high. This one is up and good. 21 all as we move into the final part of this second quarter. So this is really one of the classic games, one of the best games of the NEC this year. I'm so glad I get to be here calling it for the Mercyhurst Lakers. And of course, win or lose, we've made the call, announced it prior to the game. Coach Romeo is the NECBlitz Coach of the Year. I mean, we've got the Lakers playing in a championship game now. I don't think you saw that. 5 unofficial conference wins, 4 officially. I don't think anyone saw that prior to the season beginning. So certainly the team that overperformed the most, which is, quite frankly, I think the way that you want to hand out a coaching award. And the kickoff. Fielded by the Lakers inside the 20-yard line. Tripped up. Don't think he got much further in the 22. So 1 minute, 48 seconds remaining. 21-21 all. Mercyhurst 2 timeouts. And you've got to get down the field here. First down stops the clock inside the 2 minutes warning. So I think it's imperative. I think Central Connecticut's offense has been so good, and I think their defense has been so susceptible to the run that you've got to see if you can move the ball on them here. This one's a pass. This is to Rylan Davison. Short, he was able to make some room, but he's going to be down inbounds and short of the first down. Clock is running down to 1 minute 30. Arena, shotgun. 2 to his left, 1 to his right. Play action. No, this is a handoff. First down. Aaron Rodriguez. 6 yards. Going to get to about their own 36-yard line. 1 minute 18. Clock stops as they move the sticks. Urena back in the shotgun. 2 men on his left, 2 men on his right. Sidecar is Rodriguez. Snap. Dropping back. Throws Evans a little bit off target here, and that's going to be an incomplete pass. Would have kept the clock moving in any case. Now it's just a little short of the first down. Urena's still got Rodriguez next to him. 2 wideouts on the left, 2 on the right. Kind of that traditional 4-wide shotgun. Snaps the ball. Looks left. Picked off. Central. Oh, my gosh, he dropped it. That was a pick 6 to happen. And that was Styles Mitchell. I can't believe. And Urena and the Lakers just escaped there. That would have been a pick 6. And I was fooled enough that he was bringing the ball into his body when he dropped it. A host of Blue Devils on the sideline with their head in their hands. Just unable to believe they weren't able to make that play. 3rd and 10. Who's got to settle down there. 4 wide receivers, 2 each side. And this one's incomplete across the middle to Evan Van Dyke. And the Lakers punt team will have to come on. 3 timeouts for Central Connecticut State. Certainly capable of making a run here. I want to thank you for joining us. Isaiah, the score is 21-21. 55 seconds left in the second half. 4th and 10 Lakers. Ball punted, got it away cleanly. But this one's going to take a couple of Central Connecticut State bounces. And Lakers will have the ball. Sorry, Blue Devils will have the ball on their own 38. I want to thank you for checking in. If you are listening along, we appreciate you being here and getting the chance just to bring some Lakers football to you. So 43 seconds remaining. Blue Devils in the shotgun. Howard sidecar on the right. 2 wideouts on the right, 2 on the left. And they've got the 6. They've got the 3 timeouts here. Olsen, this one's going to be a draw. He's going to have plenty of room, but he's going to be down short of the first down. They're going to almost certainly want to take a timeout here And they do. So it'll be 2nd and 3 following the timeout. 21-21, 36 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Really starting to trip over my words. Can you tell we're getting close to halftime? All right, let's see if we can get you some updated scores from around the NEC here. Of course, this one, 21-21, 36 seconds remaining. At halftime in the Burroughs Brawl, Wagner 7, Long Island 7. 3:21 remaining in Easton, St. Francis 7, Stonehill 3. I think everyone kind of expects St. Francis to get the storybook ending and win this one. And then Duquesne Robert Morris kicking off in just about 35 minutes. Blue Devils take field again. This is 2nd and 3. 3 wideouts to the right, 2 to the left. Olsen empty set. Lakers defense gets their men covered. Olsen snaps. Pass rush decent. This one is incomplete. He was about a step too far for Sean O'Brien. That could have been a catch and run. Big one. Fortunately, not quite able to connect there as he throws just a little too far. O'Brien made that one-handed grab at it, but unable to secure the ball. 3rd and 3 now. And this one's going to be a run up the middle to Howard. Howard's going to get the first down courtesy of his juke moves. Hurdles a guy, and he has the first down, but he's at the 47-yard line. This will be a Central Connecticut timeout for sure with 25 remaining. And, I mean, he made that hurdle, something you don't really see a whole lot. The hurdle was horizontal. He was not moving upfield when he hurdled the player, but that's Elijah Howard. He's so shifty. He's able to do these things where you watch him play football and you are laughing at just how good this guy is. Same with Ethan Greenwood last year in particular. So, he's going to do things like hurdle a guy moving horizontal on the field just because he can do that. And, there's not many other guys in our league who can. Really one of the best offensive players this year. Central Connecticut getting back on the field here. Lakers slowly get set as well. And we've got 2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. Howard sidecar. He's going to split out. Effectively 2 tight ends. Max protect there. Olsen steps up, fires. This one is caught. Donovan Wadley gets 20 yards, gets to the Mercyhurst 35. He's been good in more than just those deep play situations today. Hurry up offense by the Blue Devils. 17 seconds left. Olsen snaps. He's going to throw it. This is picked off, and this is going the other way. He's got Brady Olsen to beat. Can he get past him? No. Olsen's able to make the shoestring tackle of 6 seconds remaining at the 25-yard line of the Blue Devils. Mercyhurst football. And this was Chris Thompson, returned at 56 yards. Brady Olsen was the only guy who could get him, and he trips him up running to the sideline. If he's able to get past Olsen, he's gone. So we thought we had a Blue Devils pick 6. This one went the other way and able to stop the Blue Devils from scoring. Maybe moved a little bit too fast there, but with 5 seconds remaining, do you attempt a long field goal here, or do you go ahead and just try to throw it for the end zone? Well, they've got the kicking unit out. Central Connecticut State has 1 timeout left. Let's see if they use it here. They do. So CCSU timeout, kind of going to make the kicker think about it a little bit longer. And this would be a long field goal. Looks like 41 yards by my count. So difficult difficult field goal in the NEC. There's not a lot of guys that have that kind of range and accuracy at that range. That's a tough kick to make, especially, this is difficult conditions as well in the Northeast in November. Hard to kick a long field goal. So we'll have to see here if they're able to make that kick and go up 24-21. All right, and you don't expect to ice your own kicker here, so we do expect field goal try here. Again, about 41 yards. Snap is good. Kick is up. This one is blocked. And Central Connecticut State is tackled, so that looks like the half. And so bit of a escape there for both teams. Mercyhurst able to stop the Blue Devils from making a score of their own with the interception, and then the block kick for the Blue Devils. And we are at the half. It is 21-21, and an NEC championship game. Winner gets either a piece or outright. We are going to head to timeout briefly here, and we'll talk to you very soon. NECBlitz radio coverage, courtesy of Mercyhurst University. And we are back with Mercyhurst Lakers football at Central Connecticut State. Lakers getting ready to kick off here. This is a 21-21 game. It's been some very high drama, near pick six for the Lakers, and then a blocked field goal that was almost taken back for the Blue Devils. So had an exciting end to this one, but this is actually shaping up to be, one of those NEC classics. Kickoff for the Lakers. This one into the end zone for the touchback. So Central Connecticut State will start at the 25-yard line here. Really want to see if this defense able to, I don't think halftime adjustments are really so much of a thing, but I want to see if they're able to do something, if they're going to find a way to really stop Brady Olson here. Elijah Howard, you can kind of do what you can do, but Olson is really costing the Lakers quite a few yards. So in the shotgun is Olson, 2 wide outs on his left, 2 on his right, Elijah Howard on his right in the sidecar. Motion left to right from the receiver into an H-back roll. This is a handoff to Howard, and he is stopped pretty close to immediately. Gets about 1 yard, diving low for that. So this will be a 2nd and 9 from the 26-yard line of the Blue Devils. Again, 21-21 here, early in the third quarter, 14:40 remaining. Olson will be shotgun here. 2 wideouts on his right, 1 on his left. Tight end, right to left. Snap, looks to the flat, across the middle, and he hits his target. That's going to be Michael Trovarelli, and he gets 10 yards there. He's going to get to the Central Connecticut State. Call that the 34-yard line. Check that, call that the 36. And so that's kind of that slant across the middle they've had a lot of success with. They've had a lot of success with finding a soft spot in the middle. 2 wideouts on the right, 1 on the left, motion left to right. Elijah Howard next to Olson, the shotgun. This is a handoff to Howard. Howard's not going to get much here. He gets wound out of bounds after about 1 yard, maybe half a yard. Yeah, he's going to get to about the same spot, that 36-yard line of Central Connecticut State. So far, able to do some good things with Howard here. Anytime you can hold him even for 1 play to 1 yard, you're doing pretty well. He's that kind of back. Olson, 2 wide receivers on his right, 1 on his left. Play action to Howard. He's going to get hit as he releases this ball, but he delivers a strike. And this one's Michael Trovarelli. He's going to get into Mercyhurst territory. Looks like about the 32-yard line. He gets hit this one, but he's able to float it up there to Trovarelli, who makes a jumping catch. And this was down the sideline deep. Shotgun again. Olson, handoff to Howard. Nope, play action. This one's to Trovarelli again, and he's going to be about 5 yards here. And he's going to be at the Mercyhurst 32. This is looking like another drive. Another drive where Central Connecticut State is going to be able to move the ball down the field, matriculate the ball down, if you will. Olson the shotgun with Howard. He's got 3 wide receivers on his right. This is a handoff. Howard's got a lot of space here, and he's going to get to the 20-yard line. So just about the red zone. That is enough for a first down. They're going to mark him at the 21. Signals coming in from the Central Connecticut sideline. Olson has 3 wide receivers on his left. He has a tight end on his right. He's got Olson on the left side. Howard on the left side. This is a handoff to Howard. Check that, Donnie Marcus. He's going to get 4 yards up the middle. And once again, you're seeing Central Connecticut State be able to move the ball here. 11:37 remaining here, just a few minutes taken off the clock so far. And why not? The Blue Devils, have to score fast to put some distance between themselves and Mercyhurst. It's the Lakers who are hanging around here. This is play action on the end around. He's got a guy open on the right side, kind of blocked by the window, but yes, that is a touchdown, blocked by the wall. Touchdown for the Blue Devils. This one is to Donnie Marcus, who had run out toward the right side, found a corner before the end zone, and is able to walk in untouched. Touchdown Blue Devils, and now with the extra point, a chance to go up 28-21. This is why Mercyhurst, I think, really wanted to get that score in before the half. You don't want to be giving them the chance to double up, and it is good from Jack Hennessy. Tends to be good. So it is 28-21, 11-17 remaining here at Root Stadium, Root Field in New Britain, Connecticut. So kind of a fast drive. First, it looked like, okay, the Blue Devils are going to be stopped with Elijah Howard, but can they do anything to stop Brady Olson? Unfortunately, the answer still looks like no. They're able to get these guys open, but beyond that, Olson is just able to find them. It's rare luck you're able to get him to throw an interception. Olson does not throw a whole lot of those, but unfortunately, it kind of comes to a head here where if you can't stop him by an interception every time. You're not going to always get him in a hurry-up situation where maybe he's not reading the field as well as he would, and that leads to the Central Connecticut State touchdown. They're going to kick off to the Lakers now. So now in a spot where the Lakers, if they want to continue this championship dream, they're going to have to respond here. And there is the kickoff, fielded cleanly, deep in their own territory. They're going to get to about the 15-yard line. $11:11 to go when Mercyhurst will start this drive, 28-21. And kind of waiting on the hold up here. Looks like it's an offside on that play. So that kind of kick return, you're going to want to have that kickoff again if you're the Lakers. They'll move them 5 yards back to the 30 and have to kick that ball off again. Just really want to see them continue to lean on Brian Trobel. If they have to start devoting more resources to stop him, then you can have Dylan Evans open. Evans, one of the best wide receivers in the conference, yet someone who's been able to be keyed on, I think, a little bit these last few weeks. A little bit banged up earlier in the year as well. And here's our second kickoff. Fielded. This time's a much better return, and he's going to get past the 40-yard line with that one. Looks like about 42. So that offside works out very well in the Lakers' favor as they're able to get a much better starting position. Really good spot to start off here, and hopefully not have to take the long field challenge. You don't have to go as far. It's at their own 43-yard line. So obviously you pound a rock here. It's been working, and then hopefully you can start getting your receiving game going. Urena in the shotgun. He has one man on his far left, one on his far right. He has trouble in the backfield with him. It is a play action. He does have a guy deep, but he's not going to be able to get the ball off to him in time. He is sacked, and that brings him down to the 40. There is a flag after the play. And looks like this one is going to be on the Lakers. As they're moving back just a little bit. And that's a personal foul. Something must have happened after the play after they knocked down Urena. So this will kind of negate that great return. You got a 2nd and 13 now. Check that one. 2nd and 28. So they do a little bit of a pop pass here to Taylor Wright Walls, and he's only get 2 yards. So this will be 3rd and 27. Tough outcome whenever you get that kind of a starting position to, really just kind of lose it. And had a guy deep that you can maybe get the ball to. You have to throw the pass perfectly, but not enough time after the pass rush, and then that penalty will kill you. Urena rolling out right here, using the shotgun. He's got a guy across the middle. That'll also be Taylor Wright Walls, but he's going to be short, even though it's a 14-yard gain. There's still a situation where you're behind the sticks on the 4th and 12. So the Lakers punt team will certainly come out here. The Lakers just have such a room for wide receivers. You have guys like Taylor Wright Walls come in who you're not even familiar with saying their name, and guy gets a pop pass followed by a good one across the middle. This punt is going to be relatively short. CCSU will start at their own 32-yard line. It's down by the Lakers. There's 9:07 remaining here. 28-21 Central Connecticut State. So we wait to see if we've got a media timeout here. In the red shirt sports poll, we mentioned Duquesne receiving a vote after last week. Central Connecticut State went from, I believe, 7 votes to 0. Wild loss to Duquesne where they could have won it. I think the last pass of the game was this close to being a touchdown. This is a run to Howard up the middle, and he's going to get, looks like 9 yards. It's going to be very close. Yes, this will be 2nd and 1 at their own 41 here. Shotgun with an H-back, kind of in a lead-back situation, and it is a running play. He does block for him. Howard knocking a guy over as he falls forward. This is 8 yards, and just right up the gut, 1st down. Going to be to just short of the 50-yard line. Their own 50, of course. Own 50. Their own side of the field, about the 49. Olsen is in the pistol set. He has that H-back look again, kind of a fullback. 1 wide out to each side. Right to left motion. Olsen snaps high, able to handle it. Gets to Howard. Howard up the middle, and there's no stopping him here. So he's going to go ahead and get 15 more yards. And Howard just showing what kind of a back he is, and they're going to be able to grind out a game if it gets tight. So Central Connecticut State probably going to move fast, probably going to try to avoid that eventuality, and try to go up 2 scores on Mercyhurst here. Olsen, pistol, 1 wide out each side, right to left motion. Hard count, snaps, play action pass. He does have a guy deep, but he's got a pass rush on him, and he's able to evade it. Throws at the last second. He might have been past the line there, but it looks like it's incomplete. Definitely hurried on that one. And let's see that one again. I want to see how close he gets to the line here. He's probably past the line by a yard. Very close in any event. They are going to make this one a 2nd and 10. Pistol set, still with that H-back look, kind of unique. This is a handoff. This is Donnie Marcus. He's going to get, looks like, to about the 31-yard line of Mercyhurst. It's about 5 yards. So Hennessy, not a very long-range kicker, so you probably need to get this first down here on 3rd and 5, or probably have a 4th down opportunity, rather. Shotgun, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. Olsen back to pass, fires, and he's going to sail this one a little bit. Had a guy down the sideline, probably not necessarily his only read. It looked like he had a guy a little bit open around the middle. So it is 4th and 5, but you expect the Central Connecticut State offense to stay on the field, and the way they've been playing, definitely have that chance to make this 4th down play. 3 wide receivers on the left. Shotgun, of course. Howard on the right. 1 wide receiver on the right. Looks like Howard's going to split out. Now it's an empty set. Howard on the hitch. Oh, and he's not able to find a handle on it. Howard's so dangerous in the pass game, and he was able to get open there. Very well designed play, just not going to be able to make it work. And that's a turnover on downs. The Lakers are going to get the ball back, and they've got a chance to tie this thing up. The defense holds firm, able to really get a chance to force that 4th down. They're down 28-21 here with 6:40 to go. Urena in the shotgun has Brian Trobel next to him. And want to see Trobel make the most of this opportunity here. Should have the Duquesne RMU game just starting. This is a handoff to Trobel. And he gets those 5 yards. And you got to keep Trobel going now. He's been hard to stop all day. He's well over 100 yards already. Let's give him the rock and chance to pound it, take some time off this clock and tie this game up, get it to the 4th quarter, and anything can happen. Urena, shotgun. Trobel on the left. 2 wideouts, 1 on each side. Right side motion toward the left comes in tight. This one's to Trobel, but he's going to be bottled up here. And he might have gotten a yard, not much more than back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 5. Urena, shotgun. Trobel on his left. 2 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. Trobel motion to the flat. This looks like a 1st down for Mercyhurst. Camden Lewis will catch it for 9 yards. 1st down, Hurst down. Big 3rd down conversion. You have to have something out of this drive. You have to choose some clock, and you have to get some points. And they're able to do just that here with the clock portion. 5 minutes remaining, 28-21, Central Connecticut State. Urena in the pistol. He's got 1 wide out each side. Looks like that's Davison in motion. Handoff. Trobel. About 6 yards and really 1 man to beat, and he could have probably gone even further. That takes it to the Central Connecticut State side of the territory line, about the 49, just over the top there. Yeah, he had a guy on his legs and still delivered a pretty punishing blow to the defender in blue. I love seeing backs that hit back. This one's a toss out to Trouble. He gets, he probably gets out to just short of the first down here. It's going to be 3rd and 1. .345 remaining now. Mercyhurst taking their time. Big jumbo set here as they're into Wildcat now. In trouble up middle, he's going to have room. He has a lot of room here. He gets, call it 15 yards to the central 32 for the first down. Clock continues to roll. Mercyhurst continues to get yardage here. They're going to give Trouble a well-deserved breather here. He is just so dangerous out of the Wildcat. I wonder if he can throw. Urena back there with Aaron Rodriguez, another good back for the Lakers. 2 wideouts on the right side. Snap, play action. It's going deep. He's got him. Looks like that's Rylan Davison, and he gets inside the red zone. It's like about the 12, 11-yard line here for the Hurst down. Love seeing this. Urena finally able to get some, not just some time, but some guys open down the field. With that running game, the way it's been going, it's about time that you start seeing that, and here they are. So well inside the red zone, 3 wideouts on his left. He's got a Sycards Trouble. Urena back. Oh, he's got a guy deep in the end zone. Did he catch it? Yes, he did! Down on the ground. What a catch. That is Taylor Wright-Rawls. I cannot believe he held on to this one, and this is a Mercyhurst touchdown. They're down 27-28 now with the chance for the extra point. I hope we get to see this one again. We're battling one-on-one 50-50 ball, and he makes it a 75-25. Catches that one, going down, corner of the end zone. Good on Sundays. Go ahead and expect to see that on your NEC7 countdown. Max Young is out to kick the extra point and tie it up, and he does so. 28-28, 2 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the third quarter. And here's Mercyhurst. They're hanging right with last year's champs. We got a classic in the making here, folks. Let's go ahead and give you some out-of-town scores. So what else is happening in the NEC? We have got this game 28-28. Wagner's up 17-14 at the beginning of the fourth quarter. 15 minutes to go in the Burroughs Brawl. Stonehill up 20-7 on St. Francis. 3:15 to go in the second. And 0-0, 12-12 gone from the first for Duquesne and Robert Morris. That game is on ESPN+. You can find the rest on NECfrontrow.com. And I believe local TV as well in the Pittsburgh area for RMU Duquesne. Redshirtsports.xyz top 25 poll. We'll go ahead and from the bottom and go as far as we can. 25 Lafayette, 24 Alabama State, 23 Northern Arizona, 22 South Dakota State, 21 Southeastern Louisiana, 20 Jackson State, and we will have to pick it up from there later as Mercyhurst is getting ready to kick off. Fielded just inside the 20. Close to being out of bounds there, and good return by the Blue Devils. Hit close to being while he was out of bounds, but there's no flag on the play. So let's play some football. We are going to have Central Connecticut starting at about the 35-yard line. Right, Central lining up, shotgun, Olsen with Howard on his right, 2 wideouts on his right, H-back, and on the left side, one more receiver. That tight end H-back goes ahead and motions to the right, sprint out to the right, and then a handoff going the other direction toward the left for Elijah Howard, but he's bottled up. He gets maybe half a yard here. So it'll be a second and call it 9, long 9 for the Blue Devils. Getting set, no huddle here. Olsen, Howard on his right, 3 wideouts on his right, 1 on the left. Looks like we've got an offside here on the Lakers. They'll discuss it, determine if it's a false start or an offside. From our vantage point, saw Mercyhurst move. And this is going to be an offside on the Lakers. And that'll make it a 2nd and 4. As those edge rushers just got a little bit too excited there. Had Kyler Lang on the tackle on Elijah Howard, really one of the better pass rushers in the NEC. During Wagner, he was the game against Wagner, an absolute force. 3.5 sacks on the year. Those guys, when you look at the Mercyhurst starting lineup, you often see 2 defensive linemen and 5 linebackers listed. And it makes it kind of hard to really determine what position you're playing. I know coaches spoke of them as a 3-4 in the past, but right now we've got only 2 down linemen looking at the alignment. Olsen in the shotgun, Howard on his left, 2 wideouts on his left, 1 on the right. High snap, able to handle it, gets it away. This is going to just be a first down for Central Connecticut State. That one to Damani Williams. Gets it to about their own nose of the football, touching the 45. .45 seconds left in this third quarter, 28-28 score. Pistol formation for Olsen. 1 on the left, 2 wideouts on the right. He's going to just avoid a sack, but he can't beat all of them. He's getting knocked out of bounds here, short of the line of scrimmage. So a loss of 1. Call it a 1-yard loss for 2nd and 11 now. So we're down to 18 seconds. Going to see if they want to get a playoff here before the quarter ends. Shotgun, 3 wideouts on his left, running back on his left. They do hand it off to Howard. Howard makes a cut and runs upfield. He is tough. He's fast, and he gets about 8 yards on that one to end it. And we are into the fourth quarter, 28-28. Don't go anywhere because this is a stone-cold classic here as the Lakers are battling for a share of the championship. The Blue Devils are trying to win it outright, and we've got a tight game here, 28-all, end of the third quarter. We will be back shortly. We are back here at the start of the fourth quarter. Elijah Howard's got 150 yards, 2 TDs so far. Olsen shotgun Howard on his right. 2 wideouts on his right, 1 on the left. H-back. Handoff to Howard. He's bottled up behind the line. Now it's a 3rd and 3. He lost 1, maybe 2 yards. It's 4th down. And Blue Devil offense is coming off the field. They'll have to punt to the Lakers in this tie ball game in the fourth quarter. An ideal world here, perfect world. Mercyhurst is able to drive down, take off lots of clock, and score a touchdown. So that's what we're rooting for. Punt team's on the field. Snap is good. Kick is off. Good punt. And calls for the fair catch. Briefly bobbles it, but manages to make that catch. It's Braden Black, and Mercyhurst will start at about the 12-yard line. Good punt, good coverage, and fortunately able to field that ball. Special teams have really been important today. They always are in the NEC. The muffed punt on one end, a great punt return for Central on the other end, blocked field goal. Urena shotgun, Trobel in the backfield. Handoff to him. Good gain, and it's a fumble. And it looks like Central Connecticut's got it. This is inside the 15-yard line. They do. So sudden change opportunity, and now Central's got the chance to score. There's 14 minutes remaining at the 12-yard line, call it. And what a turn of events here. It's the big pop on Trobel, and the ball comes loose. We'll give you some statistics here, though. Trobel with 160 yards to Howard's 150. Great duel between these two. And Central Connecticut in the pistol, 1 wide out each side, H-back, Howard in the backfield. Hands it to him. He's going to get relatively bottled up here. He gets about 2 yards to the 10-yard line. So Central taking their time. Pistol formation once again here. Olsen checks his play sheet. Wideouts on the left side. H-back on the left. Howard directly in behind Olsen. This is another handoff. Howard's going to get close to the first down here, about to the 5. So 3rd and 2. And Howard just simply a game-breaking kind of player here. When they get this close, it's hard to stop them. It's hard to keep them from scoring just because they can always run it up the gut and get a couple yards. This is a play action. Olsen pressured, completes the pass, and they're going to be down at the 1-yard line here. So 1st and goal at the 1. Central tight end trying to get off the field here. It looks like they will huddle. Looked like he was hurt, but he's toughing it out. They break the huddle. Goal line set out of the pistol to Howard. Howard's trying to break it outside. He loses big yardage here. And this kind of territory doesn't mean quite as much as when it's a 1st and 10, but he's down at about the 7-yard line. So big play by the Lakers defense to get that going. Olsen shotgun. Howard on his right. Wideouts left and right. Play action. Goes for the end zone. Goes for the corner. Incomplete. Looked like it was almost intercepted there. That was Adonis Marshall. One of the standout defensive backs. Probably the standout. And he almost picked that ball off. He would have had to make an incredible play to do it, but he got close. Breaks the pass up at any rate. We are 28-28 here. 11-18 to go. 3rd and goal. Got to dig deep here. Got to force that field goal. Olsen back to pass. Look how he's got a guy. It's Howard. Touchdown. So Elijah Howard, who do you go to when you need a score? Passing play on a little slant. And it's going to be a 34-28 ball game favoring the Blue Devils. So, yeah, look out here, and Hennessy will come on to attempt the extra point to try and put them up by 7. That kick is good, and the Blue Devils are up 35-28. There's 11-14 left here. We're going to look up the out-of-town scoreboard here. You can also find the scores updated every 5 minutes on NECBlitz.com if you'd like to avoid ESPN for your Saturday pleasure. Central Connecticut up 35-28 here, of course, but Long Island up 21-17 with 9:07 to go in the Burroughs Brawl. Stonehill up 20-7 on St. Francis. It's halftime, and Duquesne up 7-0 on Robert Morris. 6:31 to go in the first. However, Duquesne is in the red zone. So getting even closer there. Kickoff for Hennessy. Fielded by the Lakers at the 10-yard line. Kind of slow to get started on that return. They're going to only get it to about, they're going to mark them at the 18. So Lakers coming out, and it's no longer about chewing clock and getting an advantage. Now you've got to tie this game up. At their own 18-yard line, Urena shotgun. They've got Trobo back there. Got receivers in tight. This looks like and this is a pitch over to Van Dyke. Good misdirection. He's going to get the first down here. This is for 15 yards. And they're going to pass the 30-yard line here to the 31. Lakers getting set. Pistol formation. Van Dyke in motion. Hand off to Trobel. Bottled up pretty quickly. He got maybe 2 yards, maybe 1 yard on that running play up the left side. Not much doing there. So 2nd and 9. 10-12 to go. Central Connecticut up by 35-28. In a tight ball game here. And if you want to be a champion, this is where you got to do it. Urena takes the snap, play action to Tribble. He's going deep. Davison with the catch. That was Davison. That's a deep throw, about 30 yards downfield inside the Central Connecticut 40. And what a catch. That was in the Central Connecticut defender's face, and Davison just goes up, so he gets that ball first and gets the first down. For Mr. Laker, he's been there for a long time. This is going to be Wildcat. Tribble fakes the handoff to Rodriguez, takes it up the gut, and he gets maybe 2 yards there, up to the 35. Big Jack Stoll, one of the linebackers for Central Connecticut. They've got about 4 guys who could start on most teams, and certainly 3. Makes this tackle there. There's a lot of emotion on both sides right now without getting chippy. Urena back into shotgun. Left and right wide receivers. Hands this one to Tribble. Tribble falls forward. He gets about 2. So this is a 3rd and 6. 3rd and 5. About 8 minutes remaining here, and you've got to have this one. I think you go for it either way. Once you give up 35 points, I think you got to start thinking in terms of keeping your offense on the field. Fans hear New Britain making some noise. Snap. Hand off to Rodriguez. He's going to get the first down and more. Bowls over one guy, gets inside the 20. And Rodriguez coming up big when the Lakers needed it. So they're going to mark him at the 20. 1st and 10. Urena shotgun, one right out both sides. Rodriguez in the backfield. Oh, he is hurried. He had to get rid of that ball fast, as it looked like a Central rusher got in there untouched. So he throws this one away, and it's going to be 2nd and 10 here, as he just had to get a ball out of there and in the zip code of a Mercyhurst receiver. Liked the way the play was developing if he had some time, but he had a guy right in his face and had to get rid of it fast. .28-35 Central Connecticut, 7:10 remaining. Urena shotgun, 3 wideouts in the right. Tribble next to him. This is a handoff to Tribble. It was a high snap, and accordingly the rhythm was off. He's bottled up. He gets maybe a yard. It's going to be 3rd and 9 here. Definitely a place where you need to get close here. You need to at least have this, because I mean, you're certainly in 4-down territory. I think you need a touchdown now. And you just, in these conditions, you can't be sure about kicking. Urena shotgun, Tribble on his left, 1 wide out on his left, 2 on his right. Snaps. Tried to fit that into a tight window, and it's broken up. It's incomplete. So it will be 4th and 9 here. And you imagine the offense will stay on the field. If you can't get it done here, you're looking at a huge defensive stop at 4th and 9, never easy. Understand Joey Isabella has scored a 71-yard touchdown catch in the Duquesne game. One of the other great players on offense. Urena shotgun. Back. Delivers. Off. It looked like it might have been off Van Dyke's hands there. He might not have been able to make that play. And it is a turnover on downs. On the 19-yard line, Central will take over. Looked like he had him. Looked like that was going to be a Hurst down, and it's a turnover. 6:10 remaining. Central Connecticut State will start on their own 19. And I'm going to look at this again here. He has them. It's just a play that can't quite be made. So time for a defensive stand here. 6:10 remaining and 3 timeouts each side. 35-28 Central. And fakes the handoff to Howard, and Olsen is off and running on his own. And he's going to get the first down. Drops down on his own and gets close to 15 yards on that one. Olsen has just been a huge weapon this year compared to last year where he was, a guy who was probably about 50-50. Now he's turned into a big weapon. Play action pass. Going deep to Wadley. This one's caught. And Wadley runs out of bounds at about the 39-yard line of Mercyhurst. Huge play for Wadley. And that puts him in Lakers territory. So Wadley checks out here. Olsen breaks the huddle. Howard on his left, 2 wideouts in left, 1 on the right. Sprint out, handoff to Howard, who breaks a number of tackles, and he's going to get the first down here. About 15 more yards, gets to the Mercyhurst 25-yard line. So Howard gives them even more control in this drive and breaking the action here. Starting from number 19 on the redshirtsports.xyz poll. 19 Lamar, 18 South Dakota, 17 Abilene Christian, 16 Youngstown State, 15 UC Davis, 14 Illinois State, 13 Rhode Island, 12 Villanova, 11 North Dakota, 10 Monmouth, 9 Stephen F. Austin, 8 Mercer, 7 Harvard, 6 Tarleton State, 5 Tennessee Tech, 4 Lehigh, 3 Montana, 2 Montana State, and 1 North Dakota State with all 26 first place votes. 1st and 10 for Central Connecticut State. This is from their 25. That's Donnie Marcus in there next to Olsen. 2 wideouts on the left, 1 on the right. Snap. Handoff to Marcus. Bottled up quickly. He's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Probably a loss of a few inches there. Clock continues to run inside of 4 minutes. Second and 10. Central huddling, taking up as much time as they can here. And a field goal gets close to closing the book here as Central's already up 7 inside the red zone. Very accurate kicker. Olsen shotgun. Howard on his left. Play action on the jet sweep. Olsen throwing on the run, and they're going to call this pass interference. And the Mercyhurst players are stunned. I did not get a perfect look at this one, but this is going against the Lakers, and it will be a first down for Central Connecticut. So we'll put the ball on the Mercyhurst 12-yard line. We're going to get another look here. Olsen was throwing out. Yeah, and the contact looked incidental, but there was certainly contact there, which did prevent the ball from being caught. First and 10 at the 12-yard line. Check it at the 10-yard line, so first and goal. Olsen, handoff up the middle at Howard. Howard's got space. Howard will get to the 7-yard line. Lakers trying to force a fumble there. At this point, you got to get the ball back. Second and goal from the 7-yard line. Again, Central taking their time here. Clock down to 2:44. Olsen in the shotgun. Wide receiver on the right, motion to the left. This is another handoff to Howard. Howard tries to bounce it inside, and he's taken down at about the, looks like about the 5-yard line. Mercyhurst player pleading his case to the referee, but it's going to get us to the 2-minute timeout here, as Central is certainly going to take all the time they can off the clock. Third and goal. Looks like they are marking him down at the 7-yard line. And that'll be the 2-minute timeout. Central Connecticut State 35, Mercyhurst 28. 2 minutes to go, third and goal. NECBlitz.com for Mercyhurst University. We'll be right back. And we're back. Third and goal on the 7-yard line. Wagner down 17-24 with 4 minutes to go at Long Island. 4th and 4 there. St. Francis down 7-20 to Stonehill. Olsen, shotgun. Howard has two offensive linemen in the backfield with them, but Mercyhurst sniffed it out. They dogpile him. He's going to be down at the 11-yard line. And now you imagine the Lakers will take a timeout, and they do. So 1 minute 54 to go, and likely a field goal try here for Central Connecticut, and they're going to need a miss and to get down the field here. But Lakers still alive and able to bottle up Elijah Howard, who is not an easy guy to bottle up. At the timeout, some game statistics for you. Adam Urena, 15 for 30, 158 yards, 1 touchdown. For the Lakers, Brady Olson for Central Connecticut, 22 of 35, 221 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Brian Trobel, 21 attempts, 166 yards, 2 touchdowns. Elijah Howard, 25 attempts, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns. Teams are returning to the field here. And this is the kick team for Central Connecticut State. It's Jack Hennessy, who's quite accurate. Lines up. Snap good. Kick is up. This is no good. This is no good, and the Lakers will have the ball. 1 minute, 49 seconds. They'll have the ball and a chance to tie this game up. Take the lead with a 2-point conversion. 2 timeouts left. Jack Hennessy misses the 27-yard field goal attempt. Looks like a little bit of wind to the right here today. And Hennessy unable to handle it. So Mercyhurst will get the ball back at the 20-yard line. A first down stops the clock. You got to get out of bounds otherwise. And following that kick, the wind has stopped entirely. So maybe fate's on your side here. Urena, shotgun. Trobel on the right. Is back to pass. Catch made. He's got room. He's running down the sideline. He gets out of bounds. That was Taylor Wright-Rawls. To the Mercyhurst 36-yard line. Urena still in the shotgun. 2 on his left, 2 on his right. Trobel on his right. Central showing blitz. Snap. Blitz picked up. First down. That's a completed pass to Ryland Davison. He's going to get just past the 50-yard line here. They'll mark him right at the 50. Urena, shotgun, Trobel on the right, 3 wideouts on the right, 1 on the left. Timeout, Central Connecticut State, as there's probably some confusion there. And certainly a need to regroup. 1 minute 31 to go. Central up 35-28 on Mercyhurst. And at the 50-yard line, the Lakers are driving with 1st and 10. Catches, Ryland Davison, 5 for 94 yards. We've been saying Taylor Wright-Rawls' name quite a bit today. 4 catches, 43 yards, and a touchdown. On the other side, Central Connecticut State, Michael Trovarelli, 6 catches for 73 and a touchdown. Donovan Wadley, 4 for 64. Actually a low average for him. He's such a deep threat. And then Elijah Howard, of course, getting involved in the passing game. 4 catches, 25 yards, and a touchdown. 1 fumble lost for each team. 1 interception for the Blue Devils. Urena, shotgun, man on his right. 3 wideouts on the right, 1 on the left. Handoff to Rodriguez, runs toward the end, gets out of bounds after a first down. And I think they caught the Blue Devils off guard there with the off tackle. And there's a flag here. There's a flag, and I think this is going to be on Central Connecticut State. I think it's a big one. Personal foul on the Blue Devils. That'll move the Lakers very close to the red zone. You see Rodriguez already made a big enough play as it was, and gets hit just a little out of bounds, enough to draw the flag. Rodriguez is still in there with Urena. It's a pistol formation. 3 men on the right, bunched in, 1 wide out on the left. This is a handoff to Rodriguez up the middle. He's not going to get much here. Just a handful of yards. With the 2 timeouts, I suppose they're going to try to get the clock down just a little bit if they're going to score. Urena shotgun has Rodriguez next to him. One wideout spread out deep to the right. A few bunched out on the left. 45 seconds. 2nd and 6. No urgency. Toss to Rodriguez. Left side. Knocks the guy down. 1st down and more. He's going to get to about the 10-yard line. Just short of it. Marking him down. Looks like at about the 11-yard line. We'll call it the 12. Urena shotgun. Rodriguez left. 3 wideouts on the right. Bunched in. Snap. And pass rush was there. He threw it in the direction of Rodriguez, but it looked like he was throwing the ball away. .33 seconds to go. 2 timeouts, Mercyhurst, 2 Central Connecticut State. 35-28, Blue Devils. We've got a classic here. Urena shotgun. Rodriguez on the right. 2 on the left. 2 on the right. Urena drops back. Has time. Fires it out of the end zone. Out of the back of the end zone there. And that will take us to 3rd and 10. 25 seconds remaining. And you've got to make this one happen. Urena had time, didn't really have anywhere to go with the ball. 3rd and 10. Urena shotgun. 1 on his left, 3 on his right. Rodriguez runs out to the right and goes for the fade. Sails this one. It's going to be 4th and 10. Gotta find a way here. 22 seconds. The fans in the road are all on their feet. They are 1 play away from an outright NEC championship. Timeout Mercyhurst here. As you need 10 yards and it's 4th down. You've got to find a play here. You don't have to worry about the clock. You've got a timeout. And Mercyhurst is not as familiar with this game scenario as Central Connecticut. It seems like they're in a tough game like this every week. We call them Cardiac Connecticut State, for a reason. And you've got to find a way to get 10 yards here. You have to keep the play alive. You cannot throw the ball away. You have to find a way to get these 10 yards. Can't be too careful with the ball. An interception means as much as an incomplete pass. Means as much as a 5-yard out. Blue Devil players urging their fans to get on their feet and make some noise. Urena shotgun, empty set. 2 on his left, 3 on his right. Aaron Rodriguez among those receivers on the right. Central Connecticut State will take a timeout. Here, get a look at what Mercyhurst was doing and go from there. This is the final game of the season for Mercyhurst. May or may not be the final game of the season for Central Connecticut. Following today's games, we will release our all NEC teams and superlatives Follow on NECBlitz on Twitter for those. And once again, the Blue Devils take the field. They're urging their fans to get up. Mercyhurst trots onto the field here. See 3 wide receivers to the right. Got 2 on the left, empty set. Admiran alone in the shotgun. You've got to find a way to get 10 yards here. Urena throws it for the end zone. It's incomplete. It's incomplete. And Central Connecticut State is going to win this football game and win the NEC championship. Central Connecticut State had the guy breaking. It looked like he could have had a shot at the touchdown there. Just can't quite get it to where it needs to be. Maybe a little bit of contact, but not enough for a flag. Let him play, and Mercyhurst is going to come up just short in an absolute classic. I thought last week Duquesne Central Connecticut State was going to be the game of the year going away. But unreal, and Brady Olson's going to kneel this one out. See if Mercyhurst will not take a timeout. And Central Connecticut State, congratulations to them. They have won the NEC championship outright. They will be going to the playoffs. The Gatorade bats are out, and the Blue Devils are on the field. Some incredible acrobatics from one Blue Devil in particular, with some backflips, and the Lakers showed as much fight as you could have possibly hoped. They're right down there at the end, and they're going to come up just short this year. As they played an absolute classic and just aren't able to come away with it. So with that, I want to thank you for joining us. I want to thank Mercyhurst University for the opportunity. And this is another NEC regular season concluded. Of course, we'll be around during the off season. We'll see you for that, and we'll have the magazine out yet again this summer. So I want to thank you for following with NECBlitz all season long, as we've been able to provide coverage of this league and of what makes this sport worth following still. And we will be back next season for more radio coverage for the Mercyhurst Lakers. So just what an incredible game, and unfortunately ends like this, 35-28, Central Connecticut State. We'll get the trophy, and we'll get the auto-qualifying FCS playoff spot 2 years in a row for the Blue Devils. So with that, we're going to sign off. Thank you very much, and go Lakers.